Yeah, I know.
Okay. Will you get the lights, please? Yes, thank you. The words for Montag. Montag Vokabelquiz. Danke. And let me share this with the screen and then share it with. Hello. Sorry, Lydia. We had a little wasp problem that had to be taken care of right away. So, here, say hi to the class. They look like, this all looks like Bigfoot photography. See how blurry it is. All right, everyone said hi. I guess enough. She signed off. Maybe she's allergic to wasps. Here we go. You guys ready? Let's shuffle these up here. To look forward to, girls, to look forward to is sich freuen auf, or freuen auf. And to ask about, anybody remember this? Okay. The verb to ask is fragen, and ask about is fragen nach. On the internet, that's our bonus. It would make sense because that would translate from English but that's not the word. That works for computer. Remember that, on the computer. But internet, though, on the internet is im internet, like you're in the internet. Im internet. We get online and on the internet, and I don't know. Here, I just said it. What did you say, Connor? Or was it Connor or Cash? Computer, which is a contraction for on dame computer. Good. That works for that one. To work on, like this project right here. To work on. What is he like? He looks like he's baking a cake inside that electrical box there. Like some kind of bundt cake or something. You see that? See that? What's he doing there? He's making a large birthday cake. To work on, he's working on a cake. Arbeiten an. Work on. That one makes sense. The preposition. To write to somebody. To write to someone is schreiben an. Also an. That isn't, we wouldn't say it that way. To thank for. What's the word for? Danken für. That one makes sense with English.
Yeah, I did that.
To fight for. This one also makes sense. We know. Again? Yeah, kämpfen. That was good. Kämpfen. I got the wasp out of here. Kämpfen für. Montag. At the beach or on the beach. It's the same thing in German. There we go. An dem Strand, or you could say am Strand, but an dem Strand. That way we see what the word is. To wait on or to wait for, which is the same thing in English, really, essentially. Warten auf. Warten, you got right. So the verb, we know the verb, and then what preposition does German use? It may be the same as English, but not, maybe half the time. To tell about. Now later we're going to have talk about, speak about, but this is to tell about, is to, sorry man. And erzählen's to tell, and fun is of. But think in English, that doesn't make, you could say, he told of the story, right? He told of the situation, right? It sounds kind of like Old English, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us of the stories of old. Try to sound like I'm Shakespeare, but not working. Erzählen, fun, I'm doing my best. To work at, we had work on, arbeiten an, but to work at, like you work at a restaurant or a store or a business, arbeiten still, by, arbeiten by. And to vote for, stimmen. This makes sense though with English. That one makes sense with English. Stimmen für, vote for somebody. To care for. Girls, to care for. This also makes sense with English. Sorgen is to care, but the preposition makes sense. Für. Sorgen für. Good. On the Rhine. Now the Rhine is a masculine word. Der Rhein. So when it goes to saying that we're on the Rhine, right? Am Rhein. There's a city that you've heard of before. It's where the main airport, the biggest airport in Germany, is in Frankfurt. And this is the best way I can show this to us. I didn't think of it straight. And the whole name of the city, though, because there's two cities called Frankfurt in Germany. And the other one's not a small town either. The other one's about the size of Tulsa, maybe. But the big Frankfurt is, a million people for sure. But Frankfurt, the full name of the city, the big city, is called Frankfurt am Main. And the Main is a river. And Frankfurt on the Main. But I can tell by this that Main is a masculine word. On den, Main. The other Frankfurt is on a river that happens to be a feminine river. I mean, the articles. And that's Frankfurt on der. If you look up there and try to see feminine in dative case, goes to der. And the river is called the Oder. Frankfurt, it's a big, yeah.
Does it smell
Frankfurt on der Oder. The only one really everyone says is Frankfurt on der Oder. Now, if someone just says Frankfurt, you just assume they mean this big city, Frankfurt am Main. But when you come into the airport, it says Frankfurt am Main Flughafen. But Frankfurt an der Oder is right on the Polish border. Right here. Right here. So it's the last city you come to on a train or whatever, you cross over to Poland. And the Oder River makes part of the border between Germany and Poland in the eastern border here. So it's a natural border. Anyway, that helps. I mean, Frankfurt am Main. So we know Main is masculine, just like Rhein is masculine. And then an der Oder, we have one coming up that's going to be feminine, but that's am Rhein. Okay, here it is right here, Elbe. So, like Oder, Elbe is also a feminine river, so follow what it says. On der Elbe. Don't say river though. On der Elbe. That's a big river too. To think of, or think about, or like I'm thinking about that person or this situation. Denken an. They think on something. Let me think on that. Maybe say that, huh? To talk about. What about speak about? And then the about part is the same for all these. Über. So, because über can mean about. So, sprechen über, new word. Talk is reden. We have different words in it, right? With talking and speaking, we use those words. That might mean something different, right? Talking, speaking, and discussing. Here's the three words. Please say reden. Everyone, reden. Sprechen. Diskutieren. Über. Reden über, sprechen über, diskutieren über. Yes, this is like three cards in one here. All right.
So
I might say speak about, talk about. Just one. To get used to. Gewöhnen an. We say get used to something, they get used, I don't know, that's hard to say. Get used on something, I don't know. Believe in. I want to believe. Look at that. Ooh. This is a fake photo, I think. Someone took like two Frisbees and put them together and painted them metallic color. Threw them up in the air. Believe in, glauben an. Glauben an. To be on the phone with.
Oh, I know this one. Never mind, I don't.
Okay. It's worded a bit differently. Telefonieren mit. So we have be on the phone with, and they have this verb telefonieren, to be on the phone, and then mit fits right with, because mit and with, that's translation. Going home, this one's its own little phrase. Please know this phrase. What is it?
House nach.
Other way around.
Nach Haus.
Nach Hause. Nach Hause. To taste like. Something tastes like something else. I don't know. That's schmecken nach. Schmecken nach. And consist of.
Bestätigen.
Good. Aus. Bestehen aus. So, yeah. Something like a recipe or something, yeah? Das Bier besteht aus, ja, Weizen und Hopfen und Wasser und Zucker und Hefe. Those are the ingredients of beer. Yeah, well, I'm not allowed to acknowledge that comment or praise you for it, but you're right on, yeah. But yeast, right? Sugar, water, hops, barley.
What's barley?
Barley's a crop, kind of like wheat a little bit. But hops and barley, hops is what gives the beer the taste, really, I think. Yeast is what makes it alcoholic, I think. Yes. To help with
Wait, they put yeast in
beer.
no, like in bread, right?
Yeah. Right. But think about the ingredients of beer are very much like bread ingredients, right? Hops, barley, wheat. Those are, yeah. What is it? I'm sorry, say it again. Helfen. Mit would make sense, but yeah, I think helfen by. So helfen mit seems to make more sense, but I mean in English, oh, this is where we got off track here yesterday. To be afraid of, not you guys, I got off track.
And there's the.
Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying right now.
Wait, how you say one again?
Angst haben vor. So like I said, ich habe Angst vor Wespen.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ich habe Angst vor, I'm afraid of, ich habe Angst vor, plug in whatever you want here. Ich habe Angst vor Schweine. Ich habe Angst vor, ja, ich habe Angst vor dem Internet. Ich habe Angst vor Gartenzwerge. What's a Gartenzwerg? Yeah, garden gnomes. Ich habe Angst vor Gerte. Ich habe Angst. Ich habe Angst vor Petra. Okay. Pay attention to is when we probably achten auf. It's a longer word in English, achten auf. And then be interested in something. We're interested in something. They're interested for something.
Interested for.
Ja, für. Ich interessiere mich für Wespen. Ich interessiere für, ja, Medizin, whatever you're interested in. Okay, to look for. Suchen is the verb to look. Suchen, like to seek. And then to look for, suchen nach, yeah? There's a kind of pattern. There's only a certain number of prepositions that are used like this. To hope for is, well, the verb to hope is hoffen. That would make sense. It's not going to be that, unfortunately. Auf. Ich hoffe auf, right? Two more. Is allergic to. Allergisch. And they use a whole different preposition that didn't get used this way, but in this really gegen, which means against. You're allergic against something. That doesn't really make sense in English. Like, if you start using the word against, that means you have something like to counter it, maybe. But say, oh, ich bin allergisch gegen Pollen. What's pollen? That's Poland. But you could be allergic to Poland. But what's pollen? Huh? Pollen, right? You could be, ich bin allergisch gegen Wespen. All of you a few minutes ago were all allergic, deadly allergic to, well, I know, you guys are already, you're repeating what I'm saying. I just acknowledged that you all are allergic to them. There's no reason to repeat it. It is odd, though, that many people.
Yeah, it is.
That we'd all be in the same class. I mean, the odds are really stacked against that. But it happens to all my classes when a bee or wasp enters the class. I can't explain it. Wohnen bei. So this word with in English many times gets translated as by in the preposition verb combination, wohnen bei, helfen bei. There was another one. We say help with, live with. They say wohnen bei, helfen bei. There was one other one like that too. So that's that. Okay. Good. I'm going to show you this list then here. Let me pull up the book. And if you can pull it up as well, I'll give you the page number. It is around like 117. Let's see. Let's be way off there. Nope. Nope. What do I do here? Huh. Okay, it's not either.
When's the next time we're gonna have beer show? Wednesday?
Maybe next Wednesday, yeah. Yeah, we gotta.
Oh.
Okay, so here we go. So here's the beginning of this, and I talked about this a little bit already. But I'll come back to this. I want to show you the list itself, which is where I got the vocabulary from. It's on way off. 1, 2, 3. 123 has this list here. And some of these, they have two boxes on 123. One where the preposition is a dative case preposition. Angst haben vor, arbeiten an, erzählen von, fragen. Those are dative case. And then ones that are accusative case, antworten auf, denken an. Okay, so we got to know which is which. And I think there's another, let's see. Oh, I think that's the only one we have. I wish I could just easily move back and forth here, but I can't. Okay, so a good list there, or two lists really. That's where I pulled the vocab from. And I really thought there was another one here. Let me share this with Okay. Good. Okay, so prepositions of location. Where something's, that's what prepositions do. A lot of times they show location, and a lot of times prepositions show motion. We talked about this earlier this year, didn't we? Ones that show location, words like neben, next to. That's easy. Next to the desk, next to the wall, next to the podium. Okay, we get that. And then we have other ones like on. We use with vertical things. An der Wand, right? An der Tafel. You're at the board. You're at the wall, wherever you might be. And then there's some exceptions to the on. Usually it means vertical things, but with whatever reason, beach is an dem Strand. Although beaches, again, are not vertical things. They're about as horizontal as things get at sea level. So, but anyway, for whatever reason, am Strand. There's some other kind of exceptional things like am computer. At least a computer, you could say the computer screen is vertical and you're at the computer. Okay, but that works for that one a little bit more. In could show location, like where something, oh, it's in my purse. The kids are in the park. Okay, we live in Switzerland. That might be one. By, these are on their own. By would be used to show location, like with a business. Like we say, ich arbeite bei, and name the company. Yeah, Bosch. I keep talking about Bosch. Ich arbeite bei Mercedes. Ich arbeite bei Aldi. Okay. Wherever you work at, we say work at. So by can mean at. It can mean by, like nearby, and also can mean with, translated loosely in English. But here, by Aldi is an example we give in the book on 122. And then here, by dem Friseur. Friseur is a hairdresser. That's also a place, a business you'd be at. Beim Friseur. Good. As we go on to this other page, if I can do it easily. Let's see. There we go. Didn't take. I'll just do the old-fashioned way. I don't like this new version. I like the old one better. Before they gave it Flash.
Oh, I forgot that.
Okay, so there's those prepositions that do that show location. And then this part here. Prepositions in set phrases. And all of these in German have an equivalent in English that are also prepositions in set phrases, like Angst haben vor, in English, to be afraid of. Let's find a better one here. To ask about, well, ask about is a phrase in German. I'm asking about that. In German, they have a phrase with a preposition too. Fragen nach. To help with. We say help with, that's the phrase we use. In German, they have a similar way of expressing this. Helfen bei. Ich helfe bei der Hausaufgabe. Ich helfe bei der Arbeit. Okay. So anyway, those 6 examples all are dative case, by the way. Whatever follows, the for, the on, the von, the nach, the by, it's going to be dative case. And then we have other verb combinations with prepositions that are accusative. One of these is not on our list. Antworten auf, to answer. Maybe say to answer to, or to answer about something, to give an answer like, ich antworte auf die Frage. I'm answering the question. There's one example where they use a preposition and we don't. Denken an. We say think about. About is that preposition. Schreiben an. We say to write to. But if you follow me here, about, to, about, and for. Move up here. Of, on, about, with, again. Those are all prepositions. And they have an equivalent in German. It may not make sense in English, but okay. Sprechen über. So ich spreche, Herr Weaver, ich spreche über Verben mit Präpositionen. That's what I'm talking about. Verben mit Präpositionen. Ich rede über, Poltergeister. Ich warte auf die Wespe. That's what I'm waiting on. Okay, let me pull this up here. Let's try this here. I gotta fix it here. Somebody did really well on this. Must have been me. All right. So we have some choices here. Can you guys see this okay? Maybe if I can. Please, if you're not, I don't think all of you are like in the textbook online. I'm just guessing that's not what you're doing. So Hamburg, that's a city, right?
Yes.
Blank der Elbe. Well, what preposition? You already know. What goes with Elbe? Like Frankfurt.
On.
Yeah, but what about the feminine word though? On. So here's our choices. On, mit, hinter, or unter, sorry. If you're living unter der Elbe, you've probably already drowned. You can't live under a river unless the mafia throws you in that river with bricks tied to you. An der Elbe. That's just the phrase. That's why we have it in the vocab. It's a phrase, it's a word. Mein Hund, your dog, hat Angst. Oh, there's this phrase again. Blank Donner und Blitz. What's Donner und Blitz other than reindeer for Santa? Which I would also be afraid of these two things too. But thunder and lightning, right. So what's the phrase to be afraid of? Mein Hund hat Angst. Is it über, von, or for? It's for. That's our vocab. That's in our vocab. To say, my dog, we say, my dog is afraid of thunder and lightning. And not the reindeer. But I think he'd probably be afraid of them. Nach dem Sturm, after the storm, lag viel Hagel, and then blank der Straße. Well,
Are we supposed to do it in the quiz?
huh? What's that?
Are we supposed to do it in the quiz?
I don't.
We're not doing it. Who's on DHL too?
Well, that's from a long time ago.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the other place.
That was a random question. That's all right. I just don't know what you're talking about. So what's a street? We have streets. If there's hail on the streets, then yeah, but streets tend to be what? No, look right here.
Flat.
Horizontal. So what preposition? Auf, on, in. Auf, right. There's times we say in der Straße, but that's a different situation. Anke, that's a girl's name. Anke verbringt ihren Sommer blank der Türkei. What's der Türkei or die Türkei? Turkey. So when we talk about being in a country that starts with an article, what do we use? Mit, aus, in. In. Same as we in English. She's spending the summer in Turkey, but we'd say in der Türkei. Here's helfen. What preposition goes with helfen? We already know, maybe. It's on our vocab list. Helfen bei. So, wir helfen unsere Mutter. And that's the one that makes sense. Bei. It's also what goes with it. We're helping her. What's bei der Hausarbeit? What are you helping her with? With the housework. So, der Berliner Mauer was the Berlin Wall. So, what's a Mauer tends to be what? Look here at me. So what preposition? Something at the Berlin Wall, we're going to say. On, right. On der Berlin. Oh, so we had auf der Straße, there's hail on the streets, but then on der Mauer. A Mauer, this is die Wand, a wall, it's an indoor wall, like in your house or building, but a Mauer is an outdoor wall, like that might go around a yard or something, or in this case, went around the whole city, the Berlin Wall. But an der Berliner Mauer gibt es viel Graffiti. That's a great word for you. Du hast nicht, something we don't know. Well, I just talked about, but antworten auf is the phrase. Du hast nicht auf meine Frage. You've not answered. See, we don't use the preposition in English there. We just say you've not answered my question. All right, let's go on. Wohnt. What's wohnen go with prepositions? Wohnen, remember the list in the vocab list? No, it's a preposition. Wohnen. It was the last one we had in our vocab list today. Had the Simpsons picture on it. Wohnen bei. To live with. Remember that one? Yeah. Okay. It's the last one I said about. A lot of times this word bei in German comes, in English it's going to be with, but not always, but wohnt dein Bruder immer noch bei dir? Does he still live with you? Here's geschrieben from schreiben. What do we use with schreiben? What preposition? To write. What's the schreiben? On. So have you written to your grandmother? An. Hast du an Oma geschrieben? Erika hat mir. And then what's erzählen? What's the preposition with erzählen? Fun, thank you. Erika hat mir von ihrem Wochenende erzählt. She's explained to me or told me about. We'd say tell about, I think is in German, it's tell of. Erzählen, fun. And what's der Teppich? Catherine, who was obsessed with that word, Teppich? What is Teppich?
Oh, I don't remember.
It's a rug or carpet.
Yeah, that was the only one I knew on the backpack.
That's right. I remember that day. That was an easy quiz to grade that time. Yeah. Luckily, I gave you the word carpet. All right. Yeah. But der Teppich, blank unserem Zimmer, it's our room. Is what's dreckig? That's the last vocab. Dirty, right? Thank you. So where's der Teppich blank unserem? It's not saying on the floor. It's saying blank our room. What would we say? It's like English. In. That one's. I think it's a bit of a. That's not anything that's like different. The carpet in our room. Yeah. You could say on the floor. What would it be on the floor though? Auf dem Boden, because the floor is horizontal, typically, right? Not many floors go this way, up and down. Not many. Okay, that's a good exercise and gives you some, like 3 options for each one. What time is it? That wasp killing sure took a long time.
Yeah, 'cause we're all frowning on it.
There's a story that's the author, it's a German author who writes these stories, and even longer. I think I showed you a movie of his where he was the guy who went back to high school as an older person. Have I showed you that movie? The black and white. You got to do it on my class? That's great. That author who wrote the story, that book, all of his stories are about students like trying to derail teachers, like get things like going. Remember that guy who was doing spit wads? And he knew as soon as the teacher saw it that he would stop class and like go through everyone's notebook to find out who's been tearing paper out of their notebook. It took the whole class period to go through that.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, but I know the movies and stories better than you do. That's the thing. There was one smart younger teacher who was like, yeah, if you have any new tricks you want to try it with me, go ahead and try them. And then one guy tries something new, and then he's like, that's not new. I did that years ago. All right, we'll stop there.
Wait, did you bring your lunch? No. You did. I didn't either.
Just.